What it do? It's your favorite Texas boy, and we back with another video. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, comment, check out all of the past content. Got some good stories, some good events, good showings going on, showing me going to catch different places on the island. It's for all the people new to the channel. For all the people who's been here with me, we're gonna go ahead and get into this next subject. I get this question all the time. Are there a lot of black people in Puerto Rico? Now, for the locals and for the guys who live here, I know that sounds like a crazy question. I know it's like, duh, why would you don't think there's any black people here? Well, first, let me say, for those living in the States, coming from America, for some reason, we have this idea due to our education or the way that we shaped it, like over in these other countries, is just them there. But the truth and reality of it is there's black people in every country in the world, from Japan to Iceland, Australia, Tokyo, Spain, France. There's black folks everywhere, literally everywhere, and especially in Puerto Rico. And I'm gonna kind of do a dive in and a breakdown to what I think the actual question is. I'm gonna do a dive in and what I think people actually mean when they're asking, are there black people there? Because for people who are actually coming from cultured islands, it does sound like a dumb question. So let's just think about it, right? Most of us in the States don't even realize or think that Puerto Rico is right in the middle of the Caribbean islands. Somehow our culture in America has separated Puerto Rico from all the Caribbean islands. I'm talking about the Virgin Islands. You're talking about St. Thomas, St. Lucia, St. Croix, what's the other one? I forget the other one right off the top of my head, but I've been to most of them. All these Caribbean islands right here. Jamaica is over here. Dominican Republic is over here, and Puerto Rico is right in the middle of all that. But somehow it's like we got this vision that they're like over there by Mexico, or we've placed them with the Mexicans, when really they're more in tune with the black culture, and African is deep within their roots. Again, Puerto Ricans are a mix of three cultures: African culture, Taino Indian culture, and then European Spaniard culture. But that African culture is in there. I took a trip to the museum, and all of their culture, all of their pictures, there's like African masks that you look like they used to be dancing around in Africa in. A lot of dark-skinned individuals who are of high-ranking positions. A lot of their culture is filled with dark skin. There are a lot of what are be considered black people in Puerto Rico. I think the real question when people are coming here, when they say, are there black people here? Now that I've been here, it's more of, is there African American culture here? I think that's what they're really asking, because now again, charge it to the ignorance. Even when I got here, I was surprised to see so many black people. Even remember, some of my first videos were being black in Puerto Rico. It's because I didn't realize how many black people were here for me to not differentiate myself. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think what it is more is African American culture. So when people are coming down here, that's more so what they're looking for. Can they find the hip hop clubs? Can they find the soul food? Can they find the certain types of get-togethers that we might have back in the States under African American culture, which is a pretty popular culture worldwide. Not taking anything away from Puerto Rican culture. It's just I understand what they're saying when they're saying, are there black people in Puerto Rico? To get back to the historical part of it, again, there are so many dark-skinned, darker than me. You know what I'm saying? Like in Louisa, there's a very popular city out here, a very cultural city out here called Louisa. And in Louisa, there are more dark-skinned people than I would say light-skinned people in Louisa. Darker than me and speak nothing but Spanish, fluent Spanish. Of course, some of them speak English, yes. But Spanish is the predominant language spoke. across the island, period. But especially in that area for sure. It gets more and more cultural as you get into the island. It gets more and more Spanish speaking and less English speaking when you get into the island. But that doesn't change the color getting lighter, right? The color doesn't get lighter as you get deeper in the island, and only the light skin people are speaking Spanish. No, the dark skin people, those of the brown melanin, super dark brown melanin, all of Puerto Rico's culture speaking Spanish. And they're all over the island. You know what I'm saying? And this is not just here, right? This is anywhere you go, you're gonna find a section, a subsect. I don't care if it's London, you know what I'm saying, or Great Britain. It doesn't matter. Even if you go down to South America, there's a whole lot of black folks down there. We know Africa, I ain't even gotta say that. But I'm just saying, hell, even in the States, you go to Alaska, it's black folks. You know what I'm saying? But it's black folks all over the world. I'm saying that to say, in the places that we, for some reason in America, don't think that there are societies of black people in large quantities of black people, there really are. They're just of the nation that they're from. But this term black, it seems like it's now being applied to the skin color as opposed to a culture. And so just veering back, just trying to bring it all home, the question that they are really asking, and this is for my local supporters who are wondering why this question is getting asked, because it does sound like an ignorant question. You have to understand we are misinformed and uninformed about these things in these other countries and these other cultures, how they work. And for example, especially in African American culture in the States, a lot of us don't get to travel a lot, right? I was having a conversation with a young lady who was out here on vacation for like a month and a half, and she's roughly 20 years old, right? And so she would also think that the question is ignorant, but she's from 19 to 20 and she has trips planned out all the way through 21. She is being able to travel from country to country and experience all these different cultures and all these different languages and see all these different people at a young age. I know I didn't get to start traveling until I was in my 30s. I know a lot of African Americans in the States, in our community in general, for the most part, are not being able at 18, 19, and 20 to travel all over the world. Whether it's on their parents' dime or whether it's not on their parents' dime, but knowing and having the knowledge on how to travel on a minimalist income. That's what I would say, because there are a lot of backpacker traveling, a lot of people who know how to move around. They got something called World Packers, where you can work at people's homes and they'll give you stay for free. You clean up or cook or do this and that, and then you get to stay for free and get to travel all over the world and see things you've never seen. But that's not really a big thing in